What is up, Twitter thugs, social media reprobates, and gamers in general? I'm Fox, and you're watching PlayStation News Now, your source of news, rumour, video game discussion, and our weekly The Gamer Couch podcast. You can keep up to date by following the channel via Twitter, Fox at PlayStation News Now, as seen in the bottom right of your screen. In today's news, the early reviews are in, and notoriously difficult to please UK publication and online magazine Edge have lavished praise upon Eidos Montreal's third installment into Deus Ex Universe, with Deus Ex Mankind Divided, a sci-fi first-person shooter romp set in an anti-augmented human future. Edge gave the latest in the Deus Ex series 9 out of 10. High praise indeed, and Mankind Divided was originally set to release in February of this year, but Eidos Montreal wanted the game to be the best it could be, and it seems to have paid off. Now, I've been privy to have already sampled the silky smooth and visually arresting delights of Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and came to the opinion that Mankind Divided is seriously good. Within the sci-fi genre, DEMD could actually give the next highly anticipated Mass Effect game a serious run for its money. Deus Ex Mankind Divided hits a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC near you on the 23rd of August. Yep, that's less than a week away, so not long to wait now. And in other news, courtesy of PushSquare.com, it is no secret Sony often gets criticized for paying too much attention to so-called smaller games, but speaking at Gamescom 2016, PlayStation exec Jim Ryan has waded in on the accusation. When asked if the company finds it difficult to balance the different types of titles, here's what Jim Ryan had to say, and I quote, "At the end of the day, it's just about great games. We don't discriminate between something that's a AAA or something that's an indie. If something's a great game, then it gets focus, attention, and love." End of quote. Ryan pointed out to the company's commitment to No Man's Sky as an example, outlining how the platform holder has invested just as much into that game as it would one of its own major blockbuster releases. Push Square ended the piece by stating, and I quote, "Great games should always come first, irrespective of who's making them." End of quote. And we couldn't agree more. Also, it looks like Sony is making all the right moves with PlayStation VR. A mass market entry price into VR tech, great messaging, and tons of games to boot. Courtesy of PlayStationLifestyle.com, Sony executive Jim Ryan has been busy promoting the company's soon-to-be released VR headset, which will be subjected to a high-profile launch this October. Ryan said PlayStation VR's launch is going to be no small affair. Speaking during an interview with Inside PlayStation at Gamescom 2016, Ryan took to assure fans that PlayStation VR receives a proper PlayStation launch. It certainly looks like Sony may have another hardware hit on their hands, especially given the numerous glowing positive PlayStation VR reports coming from the games media out of Gamescom 2016. The standout titles coming to Sony's virtual reality unit are BatmanVR, Resident Evil 7 VR, Star Wars VR, and just how did they manage to make DriveclubVR look as equally amazing in VR whilst running at a reprojected 120 frames per second? DriveclubVR tweets I just couldn't help making. Those titles are just a few among hundreds currently in development, and should go some way to appeasing those who thought the platform would initially be subjected to extreme shovelware. And finally, it seems there's just too much money in remasters for EA to ignore the trend any longer. Courtesy of GameInformer.com, now cast your minds back to 2014, where the rumours first began. A time when a BioWare employee strongly hinted at a remastered Trilogy on NeoGAF. Now fast forward 2 years, and in an interview with Game Informer, EA Executive Vice President Patrick Soderlund had said that the publisher is now, and I quote, actively looking at a Mass Effect Trilogy remaster. I can't announce anything today, but you can expect us most likely to follow our fellow partners in Activision and other companies that have done this successfully. End of quote. And ka-ching ching goes EA's cash register. But it is really worth noting that at E3 2015, Soderlund said that the publisher wasn't interested in remastering older titles and that it would rather focus on the new. Things have clearly changed since then, with the EA boss admitting, and I quote, "There is proof in the market that people want it." End of quote. Do you think, Patrick? Regardless of Soderlund and the company's U-turn on the matter, most will be happy to hear that the publisher's looking into it. After all, the original Mass Effect games, especially when taken as a complete trilogy, are right up there with some of the best titles on the PlayStation 3. If and when it actually happens, expect to hear more about this pretty soon, especially given Mass Effect Andromeda supposedly launching in the first quarter of 2017, barring the strong possibility of delays. Bringing us to the end of another video. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit the like button. Thanks to all those who kindly share our videos, helping us to reach more PlayStation fans and gamers in general. And of course, subscribe for more news, rumor, and always video game discussion. Until next time, play games, not corporations. Have a great weekend, everybody.